and how to truly heal it.
As a hypnotherapist, what are your thoughts on what he said, and what do you do to help veterans struggling with PTSD?
My thoughts on the video you showed me were, what he said was spot on. PTSD is not something that only military personnel experience, and many military personnel do not have that experience. There is also something called CPTSD, which is a chronic prolonged PTSD. Some people will say childhood PTSD, and it's what happens when our mind is unable to process what we've experienced. And oftentimes it gets suppressed, right? Later in life, something may trigger it and cause us to experience some setbacks. Sometimes something will trigger the memory, which will in turn trigger the feeling. And if we do not have a concept by which to process our experience, then we may end up having a reactionary response to it. And what we want to do is develop a process or a framework within our minds by which to be able to see, to understand what we've been through. With hypnotherapy, what we do is we start out slow. The subconscious mind doesn't show you anything that you are not ready to see. So with hypnotherapy, what we do is we allow the subconscious to show us what we need to see to begin to start the process. With a person who's been in military service, what we typically do is we'll start with hypnotic reprogramming, and we'll find the subconscious beliefs that they're already holding about themselves. One of the things that I notice with my clients who are dealing with PTSD and CPTSD is that they already had a seed that may have been planted when they were younger, meaning words from a parent, experiences from a teacher, something that occurred with a sibling, a friend, or a person who was more in control of their lives than they were at that age. Usually this happens before the age of 10, but before the age of 7, but certainly before the age of 10. Once we find what that seed is, then we're now able to uproot it, so to speak, or to transform it. He mentioned in the video that many people go to talk therapy, and talk therapy doesn't really work because what it does is it causes you to relive the experience over and over and over again, and it brings up the feelings. It's not actually allowing you to heal the issue. The human body and the human mind naturally want to go towards a state of healing. The times when we cannot naturally go towards a state of healing is when we have something inside of that wound that is preventing our body from doing what it does naturally. If you receive a hit on your leg and there's a piece of glass in there in your leg will try to heal around the glass, but what often happens is we get an infection, right? So then you have to remove the glass, or you have to remove the bullet, whatever it is, from the wound so the body can now help to heal itself. Sometimes we have to introduce something like an antibiotic or a cream. Well, with the mind, it is no different. Sometimes within our mind, we receive something called sanskars, or rather think of it as a wound that has something in it. We have to remove whatever is inside of that wound, and we have to reframe it so that now the subconscious can heal itself. This is not an overnight process, but it starts instantly as soon as we find what the root cause is.